Motorcycle manufacturers don't want you to know that their freedom machines are about to become extinct. What if I told you that by 2026, dozens of iconic motorcycles will be yanked from showrooms forever? That's not fear-mongering, it's regulatory reality. Air-cooled engines, rider-friendly modifications, and the bikes you've dreamed of owning are being systematically eliminated by new laws that will force a 40 miles per hour speed limit on your bike if you dare to modify it. In this video, I'm counting down the top motorcycles that will be banned from showrooms in 2026. And trust me, number one might shock you. It's a legendary machine that has defined motorcycle culture for decades. Stick with me to the end, because this isn't just a countdown. It's your last chance to grab these bikes before they disappear forever. Starting in 2026, many iconic motorcycles won't be sold anymore, thanks to something called OBD 2-Stage 2 regulations. These new rules require bikes to have systems that can detect if you've removed your catalytic converter. And when they do, they'll limit your bike to just 40 miles per hour. This is hitting air-cooled bikes particularly hard, since they can't meet these technical requirements without massive redesigns. Let's dive straight into the countdown of motorcycles that will be banned from showrooms in 2026. Number 10. Suzuki TU250X. The Suzuki TU250X has been a favorite among beginner riders and vintage enthusiasts for its classic styling and approachable performance. This air-cooled single-cylinder throwback to simpler times is exactly the kind of motorcycle that can't survive the regulatory apocalypse. Its simple air-cooled design means it can't possibly meet the rigorous OBD 2-Stage 2 requirements without a complete redesign, which Suzuki isn't likely to invest in for this relatively low-volume model. What makes the TU250X special isn't just its beautiful retro styling with spoked wheels and classic teardrop tank. It's the whole ownership experience. With just 250cc and around 16 horsepower, it's the perfect learning platform that won't intimidate new riders. The bike weighs just 326 pounds wet, making it manageable for riders of all sizes and strengths. And unlike many modern beginner bikes with aggressive styling, the TU250X has a timeless look that never goes out of style. The simple air-cooled engine is virtually bulletproof, with owners reporting 50,000 plus miles with just basic maintenance. The carburetor is easy to access and clean, and the valve adjustment process is straightforward enough that even mechanical novices can handle it with basic tools and a service manual. This is what motorcycle ownership used to be about: simplicity, reliability, and accessibility. Number 9. Yamaha TW200. The beloved T-Dub has survived decades virtually unchanged because of its unique fat tire design and go-anywhere capability. This air-cooled 196cc thumper has been a staple for farm duty, trail riding, and urban commuting since 1987. But the TW200's ancient air-cooled single-cylinder engine is a prime candidate for the regulatory chopping block. What separates the TW200 from every other motorcycle on the market are those massive tires, particularly the 130/80/18 rear tire that gives it incredible traction in mud, sand, and loose terrain. This isn't a high-performance off-road bike. It tops out around 70 miles per hour on a good day with a tailwind. But that's not what it's built for. The TW200 is designed to go places other bikes can't, slowly and steadily conquering terrain that would stop most motorcycles in their tracks. The seat height is just 31.1 inches, but the bike's narrow profile makes it feel even lower. The riding position is upright and comfortable, perfect for all-day adventures without fatigue. The 1.8-gallon fuel tank might seem small, but with fuel economy reaching 70+ miles per gallon, you can expect over 100 miles of range between fill-ups. Number 8. Royal Enfield Classic 350 and 500. Royal Enfield has carved out a niche by producing motorcycles that look like they rolled straight out of the 1950s, complete with air-cooled engines. The classic 350 and 500 models have been unexpectedly popular with younger riders seeking vintage style without vintage headaches. The classic models are immediately recognizable by their post-war British styling, with teardrop tanks, sprung single seats, and abundant chrome. The thump of the long-stroke single-cylinder engine creates a distinctive sound that's nearly disappeared from modern motorcycling. with a top speed of around 70 to 80 miles per hour for the 350cc model and 85 to 90 miles per hour for the 500cc version. These aren't speed demons. They're machines designed for a more relaxed, deliberate riding experience. The beauty of the Royal Enfield Classic Series lies in their mechanical simplicity. The pushrod-operated valve train doesn't require frequent adjustment. The carburetor, on older models, is easily accessible for cleaning and tuning. Even the electrical system is straightforward enough that owners can troubleshoot issues with basic tools and a multimeter. Number 7. Suzuki DR650. The Suzuki DR650 is a dinosaur, and that's exactly why people love it. This air-cooled dual sport has remained virtually unchanged since 1996, with no fuel injection, no radiator, and minimal electronics. It's been the go-to choice for adventure riders who value simplicity, reliability, and ease of repair in remote locations. What makes the DR650 special starts with its engine. A torquey, 644cc single-cylinder thumper that produces about 46 horsepower and 38 pound-feet of torque. This might sound modest by modern standards, but the power delivery is perfect for off-road riding, with plenty of low-end grunt for climbing hills and navigating technical terrain. The power comes on smoothly and predictably, making it easy to control in loose conditions. The suspension offers 10.2 inches of travel up front and 10.2 inches in the rear, providing excellent capability on rough terrain while maintaining reasonable street manners. The stock seat height is 34.8 inches, but Suzuki designed the bike with an adjustable suspension that can lower it by about an inch. For taller riders, aftermarket seats and suspension modifications can increase the height significantly. The DR650's ancient air-cooled design is fundamentally incompatible with the precision required by OBD two-stage 2 systems. The variable temperatures typical of air-cooled engines make it impossible for modern diagnostic systems to accurately monitor emissions components. Suzuki would need to completely redesign the engine with liquid cooling and electronic fuel injection to make it compliant. And at that point, it would no longer be the DR650 that riders have loved for decades. One of the DR650's greatest strengths is its massive aftermarket support. Companies like ProCycle, Safari Tanks, and Seat Concepts offer everything from extended range fuel tanks, increasing capacity from the stock 3.4 gallons to 5.8 gallons or more, to comfort seats, skid plates, crash bars, and windscreens. With the right modifications, riders have taken DR650s around the world, traversing some of the most challenging terrain on Earth. Number 6. Kawasaki W800. Kawasaki's W800 is a perfect example of an endangered species, a modern motorcycle with an intentionally old-school, air-cooled parallel twin engine. The W800 has been celebrated for its authentic vintage feel, from its bevel gear-driven camshaft to its lack of liquid cooling. The W800's 773cc parallel twin engine isn't just styled to look vintage. It's engineered with deliberately retro technology. The long-stroke design, 77mm bore by 83mm stroke, produces a relaxed power delivery with strong low-end torque. The bevel gear-driven camshaft is a nod to classic British engineering, creating a distinctive mechanical sound that's been all but lost in modern motorcycle design. The engine produces about 47 horsepower and 46 pound-feet of torque, modest by modern standards but perfectly suited to the bike's relaxed character. The details that make the W800 special extend throughout the machine. The pea-shooter exhaust pipes create a distinctive, mellow exhaust note that perfectly complements the mechanical symphony from the bevel drive. The large 19-inch front wheel gives the bike a classic stance and provides stable handling on rough roads. The polished aluminum engine covers, rich paint, and abundant chrome create a premium appearance that rivals much more expensive motorcycles. But this deliberate throwback design is exactly what makes it vulnerable to the 2026 regulatory apocalypse. The W800's air-cooled engine simply cannot be made compatible with the OBD two-stage 2 requirements without destroying its essential character. Converting it to liquid cooling would eliminate the very aesthetic and engineering qualities that W800 buyers are looking for. Let me take a quick break here to remind you that if you're finding this information valuable, Subscribe to the channel right now and hit that notification bell. I'm constantly tracking these regulatory changes, so you'll be the first to know when your favorite motorcycle might be on the chopping block. Number 5. Harley-Davidson Sportster 883 and 1200. Now we're getting into truly iconic territory. The air-cooled Harley-Davidson Sportster has been a cornerstone of American motorcycle culture since 1957. This platform has introduced countless riders to the Harley-Davidson brand and has been the canvas for some of the most creative custom bikes ever built. The Sportster's Evolution engine, introduced in 1986, is the epitome of air-cooled V-twin design, with push rods, 2 valves per cylinder, and distinctive cooling fins that have defined the Harley aesthetic for generations. The 883cc version produces around 50 horsepower, while the 1200cc variant pushes closer to 70 horsepower. But raw performance numbers have never been the point of the Sportster. It's about the visceral experience, from the distinctive potato-potato idle to the wave of torque that builds as you roll on the throttle. What separates the Sportster from other cruisers is its relatively compact chassis. With a wheelbase of around 59 inches, depending on the specific model, it's notably shorter than most cruisers, giving it more responsive handling. The low center of gravity makes it feel lighter than its approximately 550-pound wet weight would suggest. The suspension is basic but effective, with traditional telescopic forks up front and dual shocks in the rear. The traditional air-cooled Sportster is a prime candidate for extinction in 2026. Its pushrod V-twin design is fundamentally incompatible with the stringent emissions and diagnostic requirements of OBD 2-Stage 2. Harley-Davidson has already introduced the Sportster S with its liquid-cooled Revolution Max engine as the replacement, signaling that they're preparing for the end of the air-cooled era. Number 4. Suzuki GSXR750. The Suzuki GSXR750 holds a special place in sport bike history as the model that revolutionized the category in 1985. While it has evolved significantly since then, becoming liquid-cooled and fuel-injected, the current generation GSXR750 is still based on a design that's over a decade old. The current GSXR750 is powered by a 750cc inline-4 engine that produces around 150 horsepower, an impressive figure that sits perfectly between the approximately 125 horsepower of most 600cc sport bikes and the 180-plus horsepower of modern leader bikes. What makes this engine special isn't just the peak power, but how it delivers that power across the rev range. Unlike 600cc bikes that need to be revved to the stratosphere to access their performance, the GSXR750 offers strong mid-range power that makes it more usable on the street and more forgiving on the track. The chassis is equally exceptional, with a twin-spar aluminum frame that provides an ideal balance of rigidity and feedback. The fully adjustable suspension, Showa Big Piston Fork, BPF, up front, and a Showa shock in the rear, offers race-level control without the harshness of more track-focused setups. The bike weighs around 420 pounds wet, striking the perfect balance between the agility of a 600 and the stability of a 1000. What makes the GSXR750 vulnerable is its aging platform and shrinking market segment. The 750cc sport bike category has been squeezed from both sides, 600cc bikes for track days and 1000cc bikes for the street. As sales volumes decline, Suzuki has less economic incentive to invest in the major updates needed to make the GSXR 750 compliant with 2026 regulations. The braking system is top-notch, with Brembo monoblock calipers gripping 310mm discs up front. The radial mount master cylinder provides excellent feel and precise control. The ABS system is well calibrated, intervening only when truly needed, without the premature activation that plagues some other systems. Number 3. BMW R9T. The BMW R9T has been BMW's love letter to their heritage, featuring an air and oil-cooled boxer engine in a platform specifically designed for customization. It's been a tremendous success, appealing to riders who want modern reliability with classic BMW character. The heart of the R9T is its 1,170cc air an oil-cooled boxer twin engine, producing around 110 horsepower and 85 pound-feet of torque. This engine is the direct descendant of BMW's iconic opposed twin design, which has powered their motorcycles since the R32 was introduced in 1923. The boxer configuration, with its horizontally opposed cylinders, creates a uniquely smooth power delivery with minimal vibration, while the longitudinal crankshaft creates the distinctive torque reaction that BMW enthusiasts love, a slight rightward tilt when you blip the throttle at a standstill. The R9T's chassis strikes a perfect balance between classic aesthetics and modern performance. The tubular steel frame uses the engine as a stressed member, creating a rigid structure with excellent feedback. The suspension, inverted telescopic forks up front and a paralever single-sided swing arm in the rear, provides excellent control without the harshness often associated with sportier setups. The bike weighs around 550 pounds wet, but the low center of gravity makes it feel remarkably manageable at low speeds. However, the R9T's air and oil-cooled boxer engine is highly susceptible to the 2026 regulatory changes. While BMW has been gradually updating it to meet each new emission standard, the OBD 2-Stage 2 requirements present a much bigger challenge. The variable temperature operation of air-cooled engines makes the precise monitoring required by these systems extremely difficult to implement. What sets the R9T apart from other retro-styled motorcycles is its deliberate design for customization. The modular frame allows for easy removal of the rear subframe to create different styles. The electrical system is designed with minimal integration, making it straightforward to swap components without disrupting critical systems. The simple instrument cluster can be easily relocated or replaced. These features have spawned an entire industry of customization specialists who transform R9Ts into everything from cafe racers to scramblers to bobbers. The riding experience combines the best aspects of classic and modern motorcycles. The seating position is upright and comfortable, perfect for all-day rides. The wide handlebars provide excellent leverage for negotiating tight turns. The braking system, featuring radial mount 4-piston calipers and 320mm discs up front, offers modern stopping power with excellent feel and progressive engagement. The available riding modes and traction control provide a safety net without intruding on the pure, analog feel that defines the R9T experience. Number 2. Triumph Bonneville T100 and T120. The Triumph Bonneville is the definition of a motorcycle icon. The modern Bonneville series has masterfully combined vintage aesthetics with mostly modern engineering. While the current Bonnevilles are liquid-cooled, they've been designed to look air-cooled, maintaining the classic profile that made the original Bonneville famous. The Bonneville T100 is powered by a 900cc parallel twin engine, producing around 64 horsepower and 59 pound-feet of torque, while the T120 features a 1,200cc version, generating approximately 80 horsepower and 77 pound-feet of torque. These engines are designed to deliver their power in a particularly accessible way, with peak torque arriving at just 3,800 revolutions per minute. This creates a riding experience that's both relaxed and engaging, with strong acceleration available without having to work the gearbox aggressively. What makes the modern Bonneville special is its attention to detail and commitment to authentic design. The fuel injection system is disguised to look like carburetors. The engine cases are shaped to mimic the proportions of the original air-cooled unit. The exhaust headers feature traditional header clamps rather than modern flanges. Even the triangle badge on the crankcase is a direct nod to the original Meriden Triumph factory. However, even these carefully modernized classics face significant challenges from the 2026 regulations. The Bonneville's engine architecture, while liquid-cooled, is still based on relatively old technology. The OBD 2-Stage 2 requirements demand sophisticated monitoring systems and anti-tampering measures that may require a complete redesign of the Bonneville's electronics and engine management. The Bonneville's chassis perfectly complements its engine character. The steel tubular frame provides a compliant ride quality that soaks up road imperfections without feeling vague or disconnected. The suspension, conventional telescopic forks up front and twin shocks in the rear, strikes an ideal balance between comfort and control. The bike's relatively low center of gravity makes it approachable for riders of all skill levels, while still offering enough capability to be engaging for experienced motorcyclists. Before we reveal the #1 motorcycle that will be banned in 2026, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Only a tiny percentage of viewers are subscribed, and you'll want to stay updated on these massive changes hitting the motorcycle industry. Number 1. Harley-Davidson Touring Models. Road King, Street Glide, Road Glide. At the top of our countdown is perhaps the most iconic American motorcycle platform of all, Harley-Davidson's air-cooled touring models. These bikes, particularly the Road King, Street Glide, and Road Glide, are more than just motorcycles. They're cultural icons that represent a distinctly American vision of freedom and individuality. The Milwaukee 8 107 1746cc and 114 1868cc engines that power these touring models are the culmination of decades of air-cooled V-twin development. These engines produce around 85 to 100 horsepower, depending on displacement, and a massive 110 to 125 pound-feet of torque. But raw numbers don't tell the whole story. It's how this power is delivered that defines the Harley experience. The long-stroke design produces tremendous torque at incredibly low RPM, allowing for relaxed cruising at highway speeds with the engine turning at just 2,500 RPM. The touring frame is a masterpiece of motorcycle engineering specifically designed to handle the weight of the bike, approximately 800 to 850 pounds. Wet, rider, passenger, and luggage while maintaining stability at highway speeds. The 64-inch wheelbase provides aero-straight tracking on the open road, while the relatively low center of gravity makes these massive machines surprisingly manageable at parking lot speeds. Harley's big twin touring models still use air-cooled engines, technically air-oil-cooled with precision cooling, based on a pushrod V-twin architecture that dates back decades. While Harley has continuously updated these engines to meet emissions requirements, the 2026 OBD 2-Stage 2 standards present their biggest challenge yet. If you found this video eye-opening, you'll definitely want to check out my other video, 10 motorcycles that got banned in multiple countries. It shows exactly how these regulations have already impacted riders worldwide and which bikes disappeared first.